show. I am your host, Madeline Lozano, and I will be spending the next hour bringing you updated events which are going on in and around San Antonio and surrounding cities, and also some up-close interviews with our special guest. Just to let you know, I'm a little under the weather. I've had this kind of which everybody else is experiencing, little sore throat, stuffy nose, and head cold. But I've taken my meds, so maybe I'll be able to get it through this show. But if not, I have two beautiful girls here that will have a lot to talk about. So we're going to get through this. I'm glad to be back. It's been a couple of weeks. There were a lot of Christmas galas during the last weeks of December, and of course the New Year's Eve, which came in with a bang with spectacular fireworks show held at the Tower of Americas. I believe over 250,000 sharing and ringing in the 2014. It was a memorable night. I do want to thank some special people that I met. One of my New Year's resolution was to try to meet different people and get to know them, you know, broaden my horizons. So I was in a house with people I didn't know. It was Tony and Lisa Calasos and their sister Elaine from the Chicago area. We had a great time talking, joking around. We really enjoyed the night, brought in the New Year's, and like I said, we had a special bond. I have a special bond with some great friends I met. That was the start of my New Year's. Also, last week the show didn't take place because the class of 2013 Tejano Roots Hall of Fame took place at the VFW Hall last Friday and Saturday in Alice, Texas. If any of y'all are from San Antonio or in this area, it's about 2 hours south. A little town with big talent. Thanks to Dave Biondi, the BNet Radio, the largest internet Tejano radio stations in the whole wide world, and Eli Rojas, who helped co-host the live broadcast. Listeners from all over the world were able to hear the inductees and enjoy the sounds to some great, fantastic music from the best of the best. Bands like Garcia Brothers, Avisa, and of course, congratulations to all the inductees, a few of them from here in San Antonio, Javier Galvan, Stephanie Montel, Ramon the Legends, as well as Aviso. Congratulations to all of them. We're looking forward to next year's 2014 Tejano Roots Hall of Fame will be held at a brand newly remodeled hall. So mark your calendar or start looking for that on the Tejano Roots Hall of Fame website. Okie dokie, we're going to give you some little information. Rupert Pacheco has relocated his jam session night to Jack's Corner. It's 1025 Nagalitos. That used to be, for those here in San Antonio are familiar with Cool Arrows, it's on the corner of 1025. It's a new place called Jack's Corner. Wednesday night, John Hernandez from Top Shelf has his jam session at the newly remodeled or newly placed for George's. It's called George's Place. For all of you know, George Rivas is a very talented musician, and he's had a sports bar for many, many years. Well, he has a new place. It's located 1513 Bandera Road. Y'all would like to go in there and just hang out with some of the great artists as they just kind of jam the night away. It's fun, it's exciting, and you get to just kind of rub elbows with them in a very casual atmosphere. So that brings me to introduce my next guest, and if I'm going to pronounce her name wrong, she will correct me in just a moment. Angelita Sorensen. She achieved success in her modeling career at a time in her life when many models are ending theirs. She has become a role model who shows that pursuing your dream can be achieved even if it means smashing through the preconceived boundaries that exist in the industry. She was crowned Miss Texas Plus Size Diva 2012 and 2013 on October 28, 2012. But her journey is far from traditional. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Madeline. I'm glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about your journey. I also look at your bio, and I see that you play the trumpet in the Dragons band. was a member of the Color Guard and a charter member of the Naval Junior ROTC. Woo!
When I was in junior high and high school, yes, I was in the band, and I was the only female trumpet player in our band, as well as I love the Color Guard, so I also juggled Color Guard. And Naval Junior ROTC, we did not have an ROTC in our high school, and so my senior year was the charter year. So of course, it was the first, and I had to be part of it.
That's amazing. I think that in itself kind of prepared you for what you were going to face in your endeavors in your career.
It definitely taught me how to juggle multiple tasks and a lot of things on my calendar.
Be disciplined and just a kind of a self-confidence, right?
Yes, it was definitely a big start, especially since I was picked on a lot in school. I wasn't exactly the prettiest girl in high school.
Well, I doubt that, because I can see with your modeling career, whoever said that was very, very wrong. But I just want to go over some of the challenges that you face as you pursued your modeling and acting career. Prior to your first film audition, you met with an agent that informed you that although you had a pretty face, you would not make it in the acting or modeling industry due to your age and the shape of your body. Tell us. I mean, from there on, they were obviously wrong, but tell us about that time in your life.
Well, initially, let me go ahead and just kind of take a step back. When I first started modeling, I've always wanted to be, an actress or be in modeling and do those things. But growing up in the late 80s and 90s, I was short, I was Hispanic. There's so many challenges that faced me, and I gave up. I gave up immediately. And it wasn't until you fast forward almost 20 years, and my daughter one day tells me, "Oh, Mommy, you're so beautiful. How come you're not a model or an actress?" And I went out there and I auditioned for my first modeling gig, and I actually booked it. And I actually got paid for it. I got $25 for fuel. It was supposed to be a test shoot, and it turned into a full-blown shoot. And just one thing led to another, and then I decided I wanted to go ahead and get my feet wet and try the acting. Well, I was told I should seek out an agent, and I went to an agent that I will leave unnamed because I don't like to trash talk. And she explained to me that although I had a pretty face, I was too old, too heavy, too top heavy, and that the only thing I'd be able to do was be in the pornographic industry. And I decided just then and there, I'm going to prove her wrong, and I set out to do that.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's sad that someone will be that person that you go to, and then they turn around and give you something negative. How did you? I know you turned it into a positive, but what advice are you going to give a young woman or someone even in their 20s or so looking for the same thing that you're looking for, and they're being told that? What is the best advice, or what can you turn them around and say? Don't do that. Do this. What is it that
the best advice I can give is understand that there will be a lot of rejection. You'll get more rejection than you would anticipate. Just get over those hurdles and keep trying. Keep trying. Don't listen to one person. Listen to yourself and what's in your heart. There's a niche for everyone in this industry. Not everyone in the modeling industry is your 6 foot tall, slim, size 3 to 5 supermodel.
That's right. We were talking about that earlier. I said even something that looks good on the mannequin, you put it on yourself and doesn't look anything like it. But if you're confident and you have a good attitude, then you just go beyond that and try to find something that fits your body, that makes you feel comfortable.
Exactly. And all women are beautiful, whether they are a size 0 to 3 or they're a size 18 to 20 or anything in between or even over that. It doesn't matter as long as you're confident and you have a great personality and you're willing to do what it takes. The hard work, put in the hard work, invest in yourself. Get into classes. Learn from other people, take advice. You can get anywhere in this industry, and surprisingly enough, I've gotten a lot further than I thought I would. And even 3 years ago, I just want to mention one of my very best friends, June Griffin Garcia.
Yes, that's I was gonna introduce her in just a second.
I know,
June
but
Griffin Garcia is also here in the studio with us. Hello.
Yeah, and actually, the reason I mention her now, and I apologize for kind of jumping, stepping ahead of you, but she's been such an inspiration to me as well. I met her 3 years ago, and there are times where I wanted to give up, and she just said, no, Angelita, you can do this. And I just kept going, and she helped me continue and pursue my dreams.
Oh, that's amazing. Welcome to the studio, June.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you. Like I said, if my voice goes out, you're going to have to take over.
She will.
Well, definitely, you are a good friend, and you've helped her a lot. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, like Angelita, I got into modeling and acting, relatively late in life. I was a performing salsa dancer for a while, but I really couldn't even imagine being an actress. But somehow that segued into some modeling and, commercials and auditions and such. And like Angelita, I walked into my first audition, and I was fortunate enough to book it. So I thought, oh, this is easy. Little did I know I'd be rejected 1,000 times after that. But, it was a good start. So that keeps me going. I really enjoy the epiphany of sorts, because I always thought of actresses, oh, you have to be 22 and beautiful and everything. But if you look around, there's so many working actors of all ages. So I think that if you have a dream to do that, train for it, try it, and even if you just dabble in it a little bit, it will really change your life. It's so much fun.
So tell us about the rejection. And if you're rejected, what is it you tell yourself? You go inward. I know in anybody's life, you have to go inward. There's a faith inside of you that gives you the strength to go on. But what did the rejection feel like? And what is it that you do to get yourself out of it to go on to the next, even though you got rejected then? Mm-hmm. Just a little bit of what goes on in your mind, and what do you tell yourself?
Luckily, my first acting coach told me not to take it personally. He says, when you do an audition, you're going there to meet some cool people, show them what you can do, walk out. And I always tell myself after each audition, fire and forget. I've done my best. I'm going on to the next thing. So I try not to stress about it. The couple of times that I've been rejected that it hurt was when I had auditioned for a role of a woman in her 40s. It was perfect for me, really. And ended up hiring a 25-year-old girl. So I thought, that's really odd why they wanted, but things like that change all the time. So I learned that casting calls are always changing. I've auditioned for roles where I got a call back, and it was narrowed down to 3 women, and they ended up hiring a guy. So you never know.
Things change.
You can't change the way you look. Maybe they want a thin person, maybe they want a heavy person. You just do the best you can, smile, and move on.
Right. In the movie business or modeling or any type of entertainment, things do change. And like you said, do not take it personal.
Exactly.
Because it's just like a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
There's 20, 30 people applying for that job, just like you're applying for that part. So it's not to be taken personal. I think that's the best advice you can give someone, and just move on.
If you don't book that one, you'll book the next one.
That's true.
Now, I want to kind of give a little bit of my experience with rejection as well. I know the way I handle rejection is that I think about all the great roles or all the great gigs I booked.
Right.
And I realized I wouldn't really appreciate them as much if everything just got handed to me.
Right.
I mean, and in life, most people, things don't just get handed to you.
That's true.
Everyone has to work for it. They have to work hard for what they want. And like June stated, you never know what they're looking for. They give you, like a definition of the type of character that they want.
Right.
But oftentimes they end up selecting someone that doesn't fit that description in any way, shape, or form. So you just never know. So it's not personal. It's just they see somebody, they don't even realize who they want or what they want until they see it.
Right.
Even though in their mind they've already made a decision, but they haven't.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's a great advice, and it's true. I mean, everything changes. I think life in itself is revolves about change, and we have to accept that in our lives. And
A vast virus database has been updated.
are you Angelita? You even traveled to New York. One summer, you were fortunate enough to travel to New York with a Team Texas for the 3rd annual Full Figure Fashion Week. You meeting icons in the plus size industry. Tell us about that experience.
That was an amazing experience. That was my first time in New York, and Full Figured Fashion Week is still relatively in the early stages. That was the 3rd year. The meeting all these wonderful people, everyone from hair and makeup artists to the models to the people who set up the stage to one of a modeling icon in the plus size industry, Sharon Quinn.
Wow.
Or Gwen DeVoe. She's the founder of Full Figured Fashion Week. I learned so much, and it was amazing to see how humble these people actually are, for the most part. And that really surprised me because in the local industry, unfortunately, there's a lot of cattiness and a lot of competition for gigs. And rather than cheering someone on, oftentimes, people, other models have a tendency to not be so nice and say things that aren't, that are hurtful. And so, and I met, in going to New York, I expected to see that tenfold and was pleasantly surprised and quite frankly shocked that it wasn't like that. And so that was an amazing experience.
Well, they always say that New Yorkers are not as friendly as Texas, but in that industry it might have just worked the opposite.
And these were models that came from all over the world. So they were models that booked Full Figured Fashion Week to walk the runway, but they were from everywhere, from the United States, from other countries. There's a few girls from Australia. Gotta love that accent.
Wow.
I mean, they were amazing.
Oh, yeah,
So you made some great friends along the way.
I did. And my friends list on Facebook even increased by 100 after I came back.
That's amazing. So when did the Full Figure really hit the magazines and runways and kind of got out there?
It's been around for the industry as far as plus size models. It's been around for quite some time. It's just been probably in the last 5 years that it's really boomed.
Right.
And where society is starting to be more accepting of women of all sizes, because let's face it, most women are what the average American woman is a size 14. That doesn't mean that women smaller, women larger are not, beautiful women. That's just the average. And so we have to, the industry has to cater to the market.
Definitely.
And as you stated earlier, if you see the thin mannequin with a size 0 dress on, and you have curves of any way, shape, or form. I mean, June is slim, but she's very curvy.
Right.
She's almost, I'm so jealous. She's,
Right.
and those clothes aren't going to look the way on the mannequin the way they look on her, or vice versa.
Right. And it's like that with every woman, I think. We go shopping and it takes a while.
Realistic.
It takes hours to find something and it's all about comfort. If you feel comfortable in it, then it's right for you. And if you see a size 0, it looks great on that mannequin, but it's not going to be the way it looks on your own body. So the plus sizes, the fashion had even changed. I noticed. Sometimes I find myself in there because I'm thinking, God, this looks pretty. Can't see it in my size, but I just kind of want to look at it and see what I could kind of, women, how we can mix and match stuff to make it look like some of the outfits that are on the mannequins or, inside the department. But I found that the fashions for the plus sizes are really beautiful.
They are now. I mean, if you went into Lane Bryant 5 years ago,
No.
they were shapeless tents, for lack of a better word.
Right.
So yes, they're starting to really cater to women, curvy women, that these clothes flow nicely on, and you can see their shape without them being too fitted or too loose. Because a curvier woman like myself, if I wear something too tight, it doesn't look good. But if I wear something that's loose as a tent, that's very unflattering as well. So
Right.
there's got to be, you got to find that medium, and that fabric and that style and that cut that looks good on you and on your body.
Definitely. So tell us a little bit about what's happening with you now. I know you mentioned some new endeavors that have come your way.
Yes, recently I actually booked a small role on the Transformers film movie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Congratulations.
thank you. Unfortunately, I did sign what's that?
Non-disclosure
agreement? A non-disclosure agreement.
The NDA.
So I'm unable to actually discuss the scene or the character, but I can tell you I got to meet some really neat people.
So you already started filming?
Yes, we've already filmed in Texas, and it was just one scene. They're filming. They filmed in Texas. They filmed in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, and they also filmed. I want to say
In China.
I think it was in China.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's the next installment of Transformers 4,
That's awesome.
or the next installment of Transformers.
So here in Texas, the music industry has also exploded. Definitely. What roles or what has come your way here in the Texas area? My voice is going out.
In music.
In the modeling area.
Oh, in the modeling industry. Well, I was the face of Envious Fashions and Boutique. I modeled for I had a 6-month contract, and I loved it, but it was a lot of time consuming. So I wanted to be able to do other things as well, and so I've modeled for other boutiques. I've modeled for Romantic Cultures, if you like vintage, real vintage, and
Beautiful.
and as well as recreation vintage. And in last summer, I came across a site on Facebook called Curvy Models Rocks. It has since been renamed to Style and Curve. I actually won an international modeling contract as one of the 8 faces of Fashion A Go-Go. It's an international plus-size clothing line that's launching in Paris, France.
Oh, that's amazing.
In April.
Fantastique.
So I will be in Paris. I've already talked to June about maybe saving up her pennies so she can go with me.
Stow away.
I might say my pennies up too. I can do this remote.
So I'm really looking forward to that. There's 4 international models and there's 4 American models.
That's great.
And your blog.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. I also have a weekly blog. It's kind of an inspirational blog. I try to talk about different things that I'm part of and giving advice at the same time.
Do you get a lot of
A lot of hits?
A lot of hits?
Yes. Yeah, surprisingly, I do. And I've never blogged. This is the first time, so I'm also one of the bloggers for Style and Curve.
That's awesome.
Yes. And here recently, we also like to give back to the community. June does a lot of things, part of things that are events and functions that giving back to the community. So we're both in a calendar called Warmth for the Homeless. And Dan Colon, this was his brainchild, and he reached out to June and I and our friend Valerie Chavadier Luna. He asked us if we'd be interested in this project, and basically the proceeds would go to purchasing coats and blankets for the homeless.
Oh, that's great.
We didn't even hesitate.
Mid-December, I think.
Yeah, mid-December. This was mid-December, and normally the calendars are out by November.
That's right.
But we decided to make a go
it.
at it, and we've already made a difference. The calendar came out beautiful. There's up and coming models, local celebrities, and established models and actresses like June and myself are also of course in the calendar.
So is it by month? So did they pick a month, or is it just a bunch of pictures?
Oh no, and we all have our own month.
So what month are you?
I'm Miss May.
Oh.
And I begged for Miss June, and they gave it to me.
Well,
Right.
fitting, right?
I think this is the 6th time I've been a Miss June in a calendar, so I've got to, keep it rolling.
Yeah, it's like the jerseys on a athlete, right? You got that month. They got that number. So, well, congratulations. Where can they purchase that, or is it available to be purchased?
There's I believe in my possession I have 14 calendars left. We did have 150. Half of them sold the first day that they went on sale, and we also autographed him. So we went downtown, and we had a little calendar signing party, and people were purchasing calendars.
That's great.
We've actually purchased 2 rounds of coats, blankets, and jackets. This past Tuesday night, we went in and delivered some coats and blankets to the homeless. And Wednesday, we went to the San Antonio Film Mixer, and June said, I really want to be part of this, and I don't know if I'm going to be available on Saturday, so can we go deliver some coats tonight?
Is that, was that where I saw you Wednesday?
Yes, it was at the Mixer, and it was so funny. June was like, she was like a big kid on Christmas. She was so excited. But she has to share something with you that was pretty amazing as we were driving away. This is something that she brought up, and it was a really nice thing that she said.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just wanted to say I have so much respect and admiration for Angelita because, just going downtown in a truck and delivering blankets to the homeless, I was a little bit nervous. But, she just went out there with panache. She had her, her rhinestones on and her glamorous hairdo and everything. And she says, hey, guys, and they all gathered around my van. They were gleefully, grabbing the coats and everything. It was all over pretty quickly, and they were grateful, and we were just like, bye. And as we were driving away, this was a very dark street corner downtown. I can't even remember where. It was near a city building, the Bear County something. But as we were driving away, we looked back, and we saw there was about a dozen homeless men and women. And suddenly, it was just like magic. They were trying on those coats, and they were passing them around, like, no, this one doesn't fit, try this one. And so they were having a good time, even just for a short time. So that really made me feel good, and I'm just so grateful that Angelita's fearlessness gets me to do things like this.
And that is amazing. I think her fearlessness got her to be where she's at today, and it's a role model for women, not only of plus sizes, but just to give them the enthusiasm to be positive and to just be comfortable in your own skin and get out there in those fashion world. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and try it. I really think that's the goal here on a lot of women who kind of step back because we're traditional or we don't have, not me, but you have to get out there and try it. If you do fail one time or 2 times, it's only a step closer to success. That's the way I see it. But you also have a nonprofit, right?
No, it's actually not a nonprofit. It was a group of individuals who got together for this project. Our friend Valerie Chavira Luna was the co-founder of Women in Heels. Okay. And they're working on making it a nonprofit. So she's had it now for several months at least, and honestly, please forgive me, Valerie, I don't remember when this started, but they're doing great things for the community. They've done everything from collecting gently used women's work clothes to pearls, because just a set of pearls sometimes can make me just give you that confidence to get that job.
That's true.
And so they've had a toy drive. They've done that nonprofit, or it's not a nonprofit yet, but that charity has done some great things.
That's amazing.
And we're really proud of her.
That's amazing. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be right back, and we'll just go over a little bit of what you're going to be doing here in San Antonio, some jobs that have come up your way, or modeling jobs. We'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Good afternoon, and welcome to this week's Uptown SA radio talk show. I'm here with Angelita Sorensen. Am I pronouncing that right?
It's close enough.
And June Griffin, who are actresses, and models. Angelita was featured on the Land Connection magazine. I can't remember what month that was.
The Queen's edition.
The Queen's edition. Yeah, we had a special edition on the Queen's, and I really want to thank you for allowing us to have you on. Telling me a little bit about did you get any feedback on that? I
did. That was so exciting to be. I've never been in a magazine, even inside, so being on the cover and getting a 3-page feature was like, yay! I was so excited. And I actually purchased hard copies for my family because they were all asking for autographed copies, and even other people told me, hey, I went on that website and printed a hard copy. When are you going to autograph my magazine? So it was an amazing feeling, and it made me feel really good because a lot of people also read it on the internet, and they've read my story, and I've had tremendous feedback about, wow, I never thought I could do this until I read your story. And so I mentor a lot of women privately, and even teenagers.
And I think that's what the magazine offers for our cover, featured covered a person is. I'm looking at it right here. It's like two and a half pages, and it's all about you, and it's the things that you. It's nice to see your face, and it's nice to know that you're out and about in different films, but we don't know anything about you. So this was an opportunity to get to know you and to read about you, and it's awesome. I really applaud you for what you're doing. It's a great encouragement to women of all sizes, and it's encouraging to me just the fact that you had obstacles and you just went right through them, and you're where you're at because you had a vision and you have a self-confidence about yourself.
And great attitude. A great attitude could book you a modeling gig. You can be absolutely stunning, drop-dead gorgeous with a bad attitude. Or you can be rather attractive and a great attitude, and you'll book the job.
Speaking about that, you won. I read in your article, you won in a featured pageant or something, Miss Genealogy. How to say that?
Oh, Miss Congeniality.
Congeniality.
Yes, and that's an amazing award because it's the other contestants that actually vote
for you.
So these aren't outside people, and you're getting people say, "Hey, vote for me! Hey, vote for me!" These are the contestants. These are the women that are competing against you, and I actually won that award by a landslide.
Wow!
Pretty much.
Congratulations. Well, I really want to appreciate both of you for coming. I know Saturdays are busy, but I really, really appreciate both of you coming. And we'll have to do this again, definitely find out what's going on down the road, maybe next 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Because I know the film industry here in San Antonio is starting to explode. I have gone to several events, and it's just going to start exploding in the next 6 months. And it's amazing. And I'm really proud to be a part of just Texas, because of I always say it's Hollywood coming to Texas.
That's right. But if we'd like to mention one more event that June and I have done for the last 2 years, it's Fiesta Fierce.
Okay.
And that's in April, and it's one of the kickoff events for Fiesta Week.
Okay.
It's not an official Fiesta event yet, because I believe you have to have that event for X number of years. And so I think now they're up to the amount of years you have to have that event. And it's put on by Cassandra Lazenby.
Oh, she's going to be here. Is she going to be here? Because she's in Chicago, isn't she?
Oh, the event's not till April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the event's not until April. And so that's been an event.
She created the event.
She created that's her event that she created. And it's happened every year, and June and I have been fortunate enough to be selected, because you actually have to audition. It's not handed to you. Wow. You go to auditions, you go to rehearsals, and of course June and I have gone the last 2 years and have rocked that runway. Just had a really good time. And so that's an event that I highly encourage, because it 1 year it benefited last year Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and the year before it was a children's home, I believe. So it's definitely a great event to go to attend. And hey, for you young ladies who want to go out there, all shapes and sizes audition, including young men as well.
So where do they audition?
It's usually going to be at Crossroads Mall, but if they go to on Facebook, if they look up Fiesta Fierce, they'll find it, and they can audition for it. Okay. And they'll look for the dates and everything.
That's great information. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, both of you, June and Angelita, for coming. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Madeline. It was really fun.
It was, Madeline. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to take a break, and then I'll be introducing my next guest.